Joe Biden came out on Tuesday after he won Arizona, Florida, Illinois. And by the way, for the record, I know this is going to upset a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that are essentially saying Biden isn't really winning. The exit polls are showing it's all rigged, all these things. I have a little higher bar to reach because I'm a journalist. So I'm not going to just tell you that unless I could verify it. And from the research Jen and I have done, particularly in Michigan, we have to do more research. The exit polls are out of the ordinary, but we do not think that Bernie is losing by 20 plus points because of exit polls, or Bernie is losing by 20 plus points because they're rigging the machines. We don't have any evidence for that. I would like it to be true, but I'm not going to irresponsibly just report that to stir controversy, stir sensationalism. So as of now, Bernie is losing because Bernie's losing. There's reasons for Bernie is losing, and I have a lot to show you in a little bit. But I don't think the machines are rigged. I don't have any evidence of that. And I don't think the exit polls are all totally skewed. In Michigan, for example, part of the reason the exit polls are so drastically different than the end results is because the exit polls did not take into account a 97% increase in absentee ballots. The exit polls do not take into account absentee ballots. They had a 97% increase in absentee ballots. So is there a lot of voter suppression going on? Absolutely. But I'm not going to just say exit polls are are the reason that Bernie is losing. It's just we don't have evidence for that. But what we do have evidence for, let me tell you something. I mean, I've been following politics for a very long time. If you had a candidate that was if you have a candidate that their campaign, his or her campaign wasn't deathly afraid of putting in front of a camera for extended periods of time, if you had a candidate that was sharp cognitively, you cannot ask for a better opportunity than Donald Trump going in front of national cameras on a daily basis and destroying his presidency. You cannot ask for a better opportunity if you are a challenger to the incumbent president than Donald Trump being contradicted live by his own corona czar, Dr. What's that short white guy? Dr. F starts with an F? Fauci. Donald Trump just went in front of national television and said, yeah, we got a vaccine that's close. And literally, Dr. Fauci had to go up to the microphone with Donald Trump behind him and be like, essentially saying, that's fake news. Like, didn't actually say fake news, but basically said, that's kind of anecdotal. We need evidence. We need testing. We need, you have to do trials and stuff like that. I mean, Donald Trump is a complete and epic disaster, not to mention, I can't think. Can you imagine if it was Barack Obama versus Donald Trump? Obama would be doing press conferences every single day, pointing out specifically, and I'm not an Obama major fan, specifically, every dangerous thing Donald Trump was saying, the fact that all of these deaths that are happening right now is because of Donald Trump, because he didn't take the advice of his health experts in January. He told them it was a hoax. This type of aggressive leadership on the Democratic end could actually reach some Trump supporters who, contrary to popular belief, also care about their lives and don't want their grandmas to die and don't want to die themselves. But somehow, the last Jen checked, the last time Joe Biden has publicly spoken was on Tuesday after he won these 3 states. By the way, after urging old people to go out and risk their lives for him. Shockingly, no one in the media has called Joe Biden out for basically telling people recklessly, if you're feeling healthy, go out and vote. If you're not showing symptoms, go out and vote. Even though this was completely against what the CDC said. In Florida, there were radio ads urging Floridians to go out and vote to, quote, continue the Obama legacy. Who Who lives in Florida? A lot of older people. So Joe Biden didn't care. And the last time he spoke, sorry, I don't have the clip up. Honestly, Jen, if you have that clip, can you send it to me? His wife had to come out and like hug him at the end because it looked like he just forgot what he was doing or where he was. I'm not trying to mock him, but at the end of his speech, he just stood there without saying anything, eyes like just staring off into the wander. And Joe Biden had to come out and hug him and kind of like pull him off stage. That was Tuesday. Joe Biden has not spoken publicly since. He did a call with the press on Friday, but it wasn't a press conference. And he hasn't done anything since then. And apparently, even though he's made from donors upwards of $25 million since Super Tuesday, apparently, with all that money, they still can't figure out the internet. Joe Biden says he's in the process of finding a way to directly answer questions every day on camera. I want to be in daily or at least significant contact with the American people and communicate what I would be doing and what I think we should be doing. Listen, I mean, Status Coup, we tried to get Jen on via Skype. We were having tech problems, but I don't have $25 million to figure it out. Statuscoup.com/join. Get us closer. Become a member for as low as $5 a month. It's startling. And then you read this article that's written in Politico that's like almost like a ridiculous rationalization for the fact that the Democratic frontrunner, who right now has probably the easiest political layup that any challenger to an incumbent could ask for, a wildly mismanaged outbreak. The White House literally parading around CVS and Target and Quest Diagnostics to save us. Remember when Trump brought out all these corporate executives? We still don't have enough hospital beds. Literally, people are having to, barter masks. You have nurses in hospitals in New York and other places wearing the same mask all week and having to use hand sanitizer to sanitize those masks. But Joe Biden and the media that has been covering for him basically for a year now, they defend him. There's no playbook for this. Biden is trapped in campaign limbo. Joe Biden reached a new and heady milestone when he shellacked Bernie Sanders in Florida, Arizona, and Illinois to become the de facto Democratic nominee. But there was no soaring speech to acknowledge the moment. He never took the stage amid a sea of Biden signs or before an adoring crowd on national TV. Biden was instead stuck in a makeshift studio in his Delaware home, webcasting his remarks with a low-quality personal camera against a straight-out-of-YouTube black backdrop and 2 American flags. He warned about the coronavirus contagion. He offered an olive branch to Bernie Sanders. Then, despite 2 consecutive weeks of smashing victories, he all but disappeared from the news cycle for days. I just wonder why he's disappearing from the news cycle. The moment was a perfect distillation of Biden's current predicament. In a state of suspended political animation, trapped between a rival who refuses to quit and the global pandemic that has all but shut down the Democratic primary campaign. Because Sanders won't quit, Biden can't fully pivot to the general election? He can't truly unite the party's warring factions? Nor can he begin stockpiling the vast amounts of money he'll need for November. His momentum has effectively been stopped cold. Oh, let's blame Bernie that Biden hasn't woken up from his 5-day nap. A source familiar with the DNC's discussions say the party offered both Biden and Sanders campaigns the opportunity to open joint fundraising accounts. But since Sanders' decline, the party is reluctant to enter into one with Biden because of the bad optics of seeming to help one candidate. Oh, now they care about the optics of helping one candidate. Not during the Iowa caucus app scandal. Not after President Obama basically forced everybody out of the field for Uncle Joe. Quote, that's going to eventually hurt Biden with financing if the DNC doesn't go ahead with this, the source said. Stuck at home because of the coronavirus precautions, Biden also can't meet with donors at fundraisers. Oh, terrible. which in turn may become less lucrative with an economy that's sinking into recession or perhaps worse. It's a tough position, said Matt Littman, who's hosting a virtual fundraiser for Biden next month, that the candidate and the donors will attend through teleconferencing software. Quote, it's harder to raise money when there's no face-to-face meeting and the personal contact, Littman said. And some of the normal people I have to raise money from I can't count on. They have their own concerns. They have to keep their houses. The universe of people who will donate money will be smaller. For the foreseeable future, all live campaign events are canceled, so we can't hit the stump to try to capitalize on the excitement he had just stoked. His ability to criticize Trump on anything other than his performance on coronavirus response and preparedness is constrained by the emergency-like conditions. As new polling suggests that Trump's approval for responding to the virus is improving, some of Biden's fellow Democrats worry he's paralyzed himself. Quote, Biden is only in limbo if he keeps himself there. He's only in a predicament to the degree he chooses to view himself in one, said Jeff Hauser, a veteran of progressive politics who is head of the Revolving Door Project. Joe Biden can either complain about the fact that he's not getting significant media coverage, or he could do something to change that. He needs to offer an alternative and offer a running play-by-play critique of the failings of this administration. Then, the best part of this story. Meanwhile, his staff is scattered, communicating via teleconference, email, and conference call. Some remain holed up in Philadelphia apartments near campaign headquarters, but others went to Washington. A few are near the candidate in Wilmington, Delaware. Another is in the mountains of Puerto Rico. Their first step, installing a better video camera in Biden's house, which will soon have broadcast-ready capabilities and high-quality live streaming software. To limit the risk of infecting the candidate, the number of staffers is limited within the House. The campaign also plans to flood social media with Biden to promote the brand of the former vice president. What's amazing about this, and I think somebody put this out there that really tells the whole story. Look at this. A source with knowledge of the campaign said Biden's team is working on scaling up the infrastructure and dealing with the realities of Biden's Wilmington home, like the fact that there aren't particularly high ceilings, which could make lighting a challenge. That's where lighting was. I give you the right. Fireside chat on important issues at home with Bernie Sanders and Fez Shakir. You could tune in to the live stream now. The live stream, I don't see really like super high ceilings in Bernie Sanders' house. Do you? The lighting, they're using a lamp on the ground. 2 lamps on the ground. His live stream looked just fine to me. Folks, let's call this what it is. Okay? Joe Biden's campaign doesn't want him in front of the camera reacting to Donald Trump on a day-to-day basis. It is laughable. It is laughable that the Democratic Party establishment, including Silicon Valley, which funds the Democratic Party establishment, in addition to Big Pharma, big banks, fossil fuels, big real estate, they haven't been able to figure out the tech in Joe Biden's home because the ceilings are too low and lighting is a challenge. That's why Joe Biden hasn't been going. Forget live. How about a few recorded videos a day? How about responding right after Donald Trump's press conferences? Give me a break, okay? Give me a break. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.